This is my mama's special song. She says it has magic.
She was 7 years old. He was a billionaire who'd lost everything that mattered. When she sat beside him on that rainy bus and started singing, he broke down completely. Because the song she sang, he'd written it for her mother on their wedding night. 7 years before this little girl was born, before everything fell apart, before his wife vanished with their baby daughter and disappeared without a trace. By the time this bus reaches its final stop, 3 lives will be forever transformed. And the secret that's been buried for 7 years? It's about to explode in the most unexpected way possible. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Stick around to the end because the final scene that happened in that hospital room, nobody saw it coming, not even him. Jin Wu Park, 32 years old, Korean billionaire, self-made CEO. Forbes 30 under 30, a face on magazine covers from Seoul to New York, and absolutely, completely broken. 7 years. That's how long he'd been searching. 7 years since he came home to an empty apartment in Seoul. Crib still there, baby clothes folded, wife and daughter gone. Just a note. Don't look for us. It's better this way. Better for who? That question haunted him every single night. $2 million spent on private investigators, 17 cities searched, hundreds of false leads. Nothing. Naomi Williams had vanished like smoke. But Jin Wu didn't become a billionaire by accepting defeat. Let me take you back 10 years. Boston University. Jin Wu, a graduate student, collided with Naomi Williams outside a lecture hall. Books scattered, eyes met. Chemistry ignited. She was everything his traditional Korean family would hate. American, black, working class, no connections, no status. But when Jin Wu looked at Naomi, he saw his future. They married within a year. His family disowned him. He didn't care. Built his empire anyway. Moved Naomi to Seoul. Promised her the world. Then baby Zoe arrived. Perfect. Beautiful. Theirs. But perfection cracked fast. Jin Wu worked 18-hour days. Building, proving, succeeding. While Naomi drowned in postpartum depression, alone in a foreign country, unable to speak the language, isolated and desperate. She called. He sent assistance with money instead of coming home himself. She begged. He promised next week while signing another deal. She broke. He didn't notice until she was gone. 7 years of regret. 7 years of searching. 7 years of missing his daughter's entire childhood. Now, standing in his Seoul office, phone pressed to ear, hearing another dead end from his detective, Jin Wu made a decision. He was flying to Atlanta for a business meeting. But this time, he wasn't just going for business. He was going to walk those streets, ride those buses, find them himself. He had no idea that fate was about to hand him a miracle. In the cruelest, most beautiful way possible. Atlanta, Georgia. Same day, different world. 4:30 a.m. Alarm screaming. Naomi Williams dragged herself from bed in a room barely big enough for 2 twin beds. One for her. One for 7-year-old Zoe, sleeping peacefully across the cramped space. Naomi was 31, but looked older. Exhaustion carved into every line. The vibrant woman Jin Wu had married was gone, replaced by someone just surviving. 2 jobs. Waitress at Mel's Diner, mornings and afternoons. Cleaning offices, evenings. $28,000 a year. After rent and food, nothing left. No savings, no safety net. Just the endless grind. But Zoe never went hungry. Zoe's uniforms were always clean. Zoe had books and love and a mother who'd die before failing her. Because Naomi wasn't just working, she was hiding from Jin Wu's mother. The woman who'd cornered Naomi in Seoul 7 years ago with an offer. Leave voluntarily, or I'll have you deported and raise my granddaughter properly. You're ruining my son's life. So Naomi ran, took baby Zoe, and disappeared. Been running ever since. This morning, Naomi's cough was worse. Blood in the sink. She rinsed it quickly. Couldn't afford to be sick. Couldn't afford a doctor. Couldn't afford to stop. Meanwhile, Zoe woke herself, dressed herself, made her own breakfast. At 7 years old, she managed more than most adults. After school, Zoe walked alone to Mrs. Patel's corner store. Bought groceries and medicine for Mama with carefully counted coins. $16.43. The cough medicine cost $18. Mrs. Patel saw the girl's face fall, made a decision. On sale today, Beta. 1643 is perfect. Zoe's smile could have lit the city. She left skipping, so proud, so responsible, so unaware that today would change everything. Because today, Zoe was going to meet a sad stranger on a bus, and nothing would ever be the same. Jin Wu's Atlanta business meeting collapsed. Partner pulled out. $40 million evaporated. Then divorce papers arrived from his ex-fiancée, another relationship destroyed by his obsession with finding his first family. By 4:30 p.m., Jin Wu sat in his rental car having an existential crisis. What was the point? The empire? The money? The success? He'd sacrificed his family for all of it, and now he had nothing that mattered. He stepped into the rain. Started walking. No destination, just movement. 30 minutes later, soaked and empty, he saw a bus pulling up. Number 42. On impulse, he boarded, collapsed in the back seat, stared at nothing. 3 stops later, a small voice. Excuse me, mister? Is this seat taken? Jin Wu looked up. 7-year-old girl, beautiful brown skin, wise eyes, carrying grocery bags nearly as big as she was. He shook his head. She climbed up, struggling with her bags. Silence. Rain drumming the roof, bus engine rumbling. Then she turned to him. You look like my mama did last Tuesday. Jin Wu blinked. What? Sad, the kind that lives in your bones. This tiny stranger just read him completely. I'm fine. He lied. She shook her head. That's what mama says too, but I always know when she's lying. She studied him seriously. Can I tell you something my mama taught me? When someone's drowning in sadness, sometimes a song can be a lifeline. Before Jin Wu could respond, she slid off her seat. Stood in the aisle, cleared her throat. This is my mama's special song. She says it has magic.
This is my mama's special song. She says it has magic. Even when the night is long, even when the road is rough, love will find a way back home. Love will always be enough.
Time stopped. Jin Wu had written that song 10 years ago. For Naomi, their wedding night, he'd never published it, never shared it. The only person who knew it was, Where did you learn that? His voice cracked completely. The girl sat back down, pleased. My mama sings it every night. She says it was a gift from someone who loved her perfectly, even if just for a moment. Jin Wu's hands were shaking. What's your name? Your full name? Zoe Williams. Well, mama changed it to Williams, but I found my birth certificate once. It said Zoe Park. The world tilted. Zoe Park. He could barely breathe. Yeah, do you know that name? How old are you? Though he already knew. 7 3/4. I'll be 8 on November 14th. November 14th, 3:47 a.m. Seoul National University Hospital, his daughter's birthday. The daughter sitting right beside him. Completely unaware she was talking to her father. Jin Wu covered his mouth, shoulders shaking. Mister, are you okay? You remind me of someone precious. Understatement of the century. The bus slowed. Zoe gathered her bags. This is my stop. I need to get home. Mama's sick. Alarm bells erupted. You're traveling alone? At 7? 7 3/4. I'm very responsible. She was buying medicine, carrying groceries, taking care of a sick mother, alone, while Jin Wu had been in luxury hotels. Let me help carry those. She hesitated. Mama says never go with strangers. Smart rule. You lead, I follow. Public streets only. Deal? She studied him with those impossibly wise eyes, nodded. Deal, but I know Taekwondo. Noted. They walked together, father and daughter, strangers, both about to walk into the confrontation 7 years in the making. Zoe chattered about her neighborhood, Mr. Johnson's cats, the community garden, where she fell last year. Jin Wu barely heard, just watched his daughter. The confidence despite worn shoes. The way she checked before crossing streets. The way she hummed their song as she walked. He'd missed everything. First steps. First words. First day of school. 3rd floor. That's home. Jin Wu's heart hammered. At the top of those stairs was Naomi. They climbed. Reached door 3C. Thank you, mister. She paused. I never got your name. Jin. Want to meet my mama? She says we should always thank helpers. His world compressed to this moment. I'd like that. Zoe unlocked the door, called inside. Mama, I'm home. I brought a helper. The apartment was tiny, smaller than Jin Wu's closet, but clean. Loved. Drawings on walls, books stacked carefully, someone trying their best. Sound of violent coughing. Mama? Zoe ran toward it. I got your medicine. Jin Wu followed. Then she appeared. Naomi. Thinner. Exhausted. 7 years older. But still her. Still beautiful. Still the woman he'd loved more than breathing. She looked up. Saw him. All blood drained from her face. No. One word. 7 years of running in it. Naomi. Her name from his lips. First time in 7 years. Time fractured. Mama? Zoe looked between them, confused. Do you know Mr. Jin? Naomi couldn't speak, couldn't move, because Jin Wu Park was standing in her apartment. The man she'd spent 7 years hiding from. Go to your room, baby. Now. But Mama... Now, Zoe. Zoe fled, scared. Mama never yelled. Silence. 7 years of it. How did you find us? Naomi's voice shook. I didn't. She found me. Sang our song on a bus. Horror dawned on Naomi's face. You need to leave. Panic rising. She's 7 years old, carrying groceries alone, buying medicine, taking care of you while you're... He gestured at her obvious illness. Don't you dare judge me. She lunged forward, hand over his mouth. Don't you dare. I've kept our daughter alive and safe. He gently removed her hand, held it, skin on skin after 7 years. You're burning up. This isn't a cold. When did you last see a doctor? Can't afford one. I don't want your money. Violent coughing cut her off. She doubled over. Jin Wu caught her. God, she was so thin, so fragile. The coughing wouldn't stop, gasping, wheezing, shaking. Zoe, where's her medicine? Zoe emerged, terrified, holding the bag. Jin Wu opened it, poured the dose, held it to Naomi's lips. Drink. She did. No fight left. Is Mama going to be okay, Mr. Jin? Zoe's voice broke. Jin Wu looked at Naomi. Really looked. Pneumonia. Maybe worse. Days from crisis. She needs a hospital. No. Naomi's panic was instant. No hospitals. I can't. Another coughing fit. Worse. Fever spiking. Jin Wu pulled out his phone. I'm calling an ambulance. I said no. She tried to stand, fight, run like always. Her body gave out. Eyes rolled back, collapsed. Jin Wu caught her as she fell unconscious. Mama! Zoe screamed, phone to ear. Naomi in his arms, daughter sobbing. I need an ambulance. 347 Morrison Street, apartment 3C, woman, 30s, unconscious, respiratory distress. To Zoe. Come here, sweetheart. She ran to him. He wrapped one arm around his daughter while holding his unconscious wife. Both his girls, finally, like this. Be very brave, okay? I don't want Mama to die. Sobbing. She won't. I promise. I will not let that happen. How do you know? Jin Wu looked at Naomi's face, then Zoe's. Because I just found you both, and I'm not losing you again. Sirens approaching. Paramedics rushing in. Vitals checked. Medical terms flying. Naomi loaded onto a stretcher. Are you family? A paramedic asked. I'm her husband. Technically ex. Details later. And this is your daughter? Jin Wu looked at Zoe, clinging to his hand. Yes, this is my daughter. Then you can ride with us. In the ambulance, Zoe pressed against him, watching paramedics work on Mama, terrified. Mr. Jin? Yes? You said you lost your family? Is that us? Are we your family? The biggest gamble of his life. Yes, Zoe. You and your Mama. You've always been my family. Processing. Then, so you're my daddy? Jin Wu's throat closed, tears spilling. Could only nod. Zoe crawled into his lap, wrapped arms around his neck. I always wanted a daddy. Jin Wu held his daughter for the first time in 7 years and shattered. Held her and cried and promised himself, never letting go again. The ambulance raced through Atlanta, sirens wailing. A family broken 7 years ago, beginning to heal. Atlanta General Hospital, 2:30 a.m., private room. Naomi unconscious, hooked to monitors. Diagnosis, severe pneumonia, dehydration, malnutrition. Body running on empty for months, finally giving out. The doctor was blunt. 12 more hours and we'd be having a different conversation. Zoe refused to leave her mother's side, sat in a chair holding Naomi's hand, whispering, "Please wake up, Mama." Jin Wu finally negotiated. 3 bites of sandwich, I'll tell you about when Mama and I met. Until she ate. Now she slept, exhausted. Jin Wu sat watching both of them. His girls, his family. Around 2:30, Naomi stirred. Eyes fluttered open. Saw the hospital room, the monitors, Zoe sleeping beside her. Relief flooded her face. Then saw Jin Wu. Everything crashed back. "How long?" Voice raspy. 4 hours. Pneumonia. You'll recover with rest and antibiotics. Naomi's hand went to Zoe, checking, making sure. "She's fine. Scared but fine. Refused to leave." Silence. Just monitors beeping. "You should have left," Naomi said quietly. "Once the ambulance came. Should have just gone back to your perfect life." "Perfect?" Jin Wu's voice cracked. "I've spent 7 years and $2 million searching for you. You think I'd walk away the moment I found you? It would be easier." "For who?" "Naomi. Our daughter deserves to know her father." Tears slipped down her face. "Your mother said I wasn't good enough. Offered me money to leave. Said she'd have me deported and raise Zoe properly if I didn't go voluntarily. I was terrified, Jin, alone, depressed. She was threatening to take my baby." Jin Wu's jaw clenched. "When?" 2 weeks before I left. You were in Tokyo. I was terrified and alone and I ran. I protected her the only way I knew how. You should have told me. You were already married to your work. Would you really have chosen us over your empire?" Direct hit, because it was true. "You're right," Jin Wu said quietly. "I was a terrible husband. Absent, selfish. I failed you. I've spent 7 years living with that." He turned to face her. "But I'm different now. The empire runs itself. The fortune means nothing without someone to share it. I don't want to be CEO anymore. I want to be Zoe's dad. And if you'll let me, I want to earn back your trust." "Jin, I'm not asking you to love me. I'm asking for a chance to know our daughter, to prove I've changed, to make up for 7 years of missed birthdays." Naomi looked at sleeping Zoe. "She asked me last month why she doesn't have a daddy. I told her you loved her but lived far away. She drew a picture of you, even though she'd never seen your face. Just stick figures. Our family, with a space where you should be." Jin Wu's breath caught. "I didn't keep her from you because I hated you," Naomi continued. "I kept her from you because I was terrified. Terrified your family would take her. Terrified you'd realize you were better off without us." "You were always enough," Jin Wu said fiercely. "And my mother? She'll never contact you without my permission. I've already told her she wants access to her granddaughter. She'll earn it by respecting her granddaughter's mother. She wants me in her life. She'll accept you both. Non-negotiable." Naomi stared. "You'd choose us over your family?" "You are my family. You always were." Pause. Then, "What happens now?" "Your choice. I can stay here in Atlanta. Get to know Zoe. Help you recover. Or when you're ready, you could both come to Seoul. Fresh start, better healthcare, schools. You'd have your own space, full independence, but Zoe could move freely, whatever you're comfortable with." "Mama?" Sleepy voice. Zoe, waking, saw Naomi conscious, burst into tears. "Mama, you're okay." "I'm okay, baby. Mr. Jin saved you?" Pause. "Mama, he told me something. He said he's my daddy. Is that true?" Naomi's eyes met Jin Wu's. He held her gaze. She took a breath. "Yes, baby, it's true." "I knew it!" Zoe clapped hand over her mouth. "Sorry," inside voice, "but I knew it." She launched at Jin Wu. He caught her. "Can I call you Daddy?" Jin Wu nodded, unable to speak. "Hi, Daddy. I'm Zoe. I'm 7 3/4. I love art and music. My favorite color is purple, and I've always wanted a daddy." "Hi, Zoe. I'm your dad, and I've always wanted to know you. Zoe beamed, turned to Naomi. Mama, can we keep him? Despite everything, Naomi laughed. Yeah, baby, I think we can. 6 months later. Seoul, South Korea. Cherry blossoms painted the city pink and white, and in a house with mountain views and a guest house in the garden, a family was learning what wholeness meant. Zoe Williams, hyphenated, her choice, was thriving. International school, learning Korean, making friends from 20 countries, dominating second grade, 2 bedrooms, one in Jin Wu's house for stargazing with his telescope, one in Naomi's guest house for familiar comfort. She moved between them freely. Naomi worked part-time at a cultural center, teaching English, helping other immigrant spouses navigate what she'd once faced alone, building community. Jin Wu stepped down as CEO. Chairman role now, minimal travel, maximum family time. Mornings walking Zoe to school, evenings for family dinners, weekends for parks and museums and all the moments he'd missed. His mother tried visiting once, showed up unannounced. Jin Wu met her at the gate. You want to be in Zoe's life? Write Naomi a letter, apologize, mean it, then we'll talk. She left furious. 3 weeks later, a letter arrived. Not perfect, but a start. Today was Zoe's 8th birthday. The birthday Jin Wu had searched 7 years to celebrate. Garden decorated in purple. Friends from school playing, teachers mingling with parents, and Zoe in the center, opening presents, glowing. Jin Wu stood beside Naomi, shoulders touching, not quite together, not quite apart, still figuring it out. She's happy, Naomi said. She is. You did this. We did this. You kept her safe and loved for 7 years. You made her into this incredible human. I'm just getting to enjoy the results. Naomi smiled. She has your stubbornness and your terrible singing voice. They laughed. Easy, comfortable. Zoe ran over, frosting covered, beaming. Daddy, Mama, time for cake. She grabbed both their hands, pulled them to the table where an enormous purple cake blazed with 8 candles. Everyone gathered. Happy birthday in 3 languages. Zoe standing between her parents, glowing. Make a wish, sweetheart, Naomi said. Zoe looked at Jin Wu, then Naomi, then at her friends and the garden and the home they'd built. I don't need to. Everything I wished for came true. She blew out the candles anyway, and as the party continued, Jin Wu caught Naomi's eye over their daughter's head, mouthed, "Thank you." She mouthed back, "Thank you too." Because this messy, complicated, beautiful family they were building wasn't the ending either had planned. It was better. It was real. It was earned. And it started with a song, a rainy afternoon, and a brave little girl who offered kindness to a sad stranger. Sometimes the family you lose isn't gone forever. Sometimes they're waiting for the right moment to be found. Sometimes a song heals what words cannot. And sometimes the longest journey home begins with a child who sees what adults forget, that love never truly disappears. It just waits. Patient, persistent, ready to call you home again. This was their story. But maybe, in some small way, it's all our stories. Because we're all searching for something, for someone, for home. And sometimes, when we least expect it, 1 in 7 women experience postpartum depression. If you're struggling, reach out. You're not alone. Drop your thoughts in the comments. A quick question. Would you forgive Naomi for running? What would you wish for if you were Zoe? Have you ever reconnected with someone after years apart? Share your story. In the comments, we love to hear from you.